Hi guys, doing a video today. I have a friend named Ray and he sent me a question and wanted to know how I set up a feather or a vane to be used as a secondary anchor or as a non-anticipatory trigger. Ray has a Facebook group page for traditional archers. I'll put a link in the description below, and for anybody that's interested in non-anticipatory triggers, I'll put a link into Joel Turner's Shot IQ. So we all have a hard time finding somebody to help us, typically. So, and you hate to wear out your favors. So what I like to do is I'll fletch, just put one feather on the shaft about where I think it would be, and I draw the bow back and I give it a check. I'll do that a couple times. If I'm not even close, if I'm crashing into it early, then while it's still on there, I'll just trim the length of it back. One of the things you're going to have to determine is how you want to use this feather. Do you want it up on the bridge of your nose, on the tip of your nose? Where exactly do you want it to make contact? And as you know, there's all different profile feathers and vanes on the market. So you're going to have to figure out which one you want to use that's going to work best for you. How I used to do it is I used to put the tip of my nose right on the arrow, so that would give me my head alignment, and then I liked the shield cut because it was really flat towards the back. So I'd have my head aligned for consistency, and then as I pulled through the shot, when my nose would hit the base of the feather, that would be my trigger. Problem I have with that is that sometimes I'd start having ghost feelings. Because I'm already feeling the arrow drag along my nose, I would be like, did it hit, or was that the arrow that I'm feeling? So you're gonna have to experiment and play with it and figure out exactly what you want to do. So how I do this is, once I've got a rough idea where I want this to be, then I'll mark on the shaft exactly where that spot is. I'll remove this, and then when I put the arrow into the jig, I'll look on the clamp and figure out which one of the marks lines up with that mark. Once you figure that out, what I like to do is I use this boning fletch tape. It's double-sided tape. It can be used for feathers or spin wings or anything like that. I really like this stuff. So I'll put some of this onto the vane, put the back of the vane or the feather on that mark, put it in the jig, put it on there, rotate it, then go one mark forward of that, stick your next vane on, then rotate it, and then the third vane I put one mark behind the first one. So what that ends up giving you is 3 different locations distance-wise from the knock. So what I'll do is I'll go out in the yard and I'll shoot this. I'll shoot it 4, 5, 6 times, and I'll see if that's where I want it. If I'm finding that it's contacting too early, then I just rotate the knock to the one that's 1/8 of an inch further away. If I'm finding that it's not contacting when I want it, then I rotate it to the one that's 1/8 of an inch closer than the first one, and shoot it until you think that that's the right position for you or not. Once I figure out the one I'm comfortable with, I'll go and I'll remove the other 2 vanes, and then I'll offset them again and refletch them on here, but 1/16 of an inch from the original one, forward and back of that, and I'll go out in the yard and I'll shoot all 3 of them again and determine exactly which one I like. It's narrowing it down to exactly where you want it. That's the difference between, shooting groups like this and shooting groups like this. You got to get it exactly where you need it. And with this method here that I'm showing you, you're not going to be getting frustrated because you can't get somebody to help remark it or stand there and watch you shoot. Hope this helps. See you guys soon.